African buffalo. The African buffalo, scientifically known as Cincerus cafeyer, is a large bovine species native to sub-Saharan Africa. It is also referred to as the Cape buffalo or African buffalo. Here are some key characteristics and information about the African buffalo. Appearance: African buffaloes are large and robust animals with a shoulder height of around 1 to 1.7 meters, 3.3 to 5.6 feet, and a body length of approximately 2.4 to 3.4 meters, 7.9 to 11.2 feet. They have a massive build, with males, bulls, being larger and heavier than females, cows. Bulls can weigh up to 750 kilograms, 1,650 pounds, while cows generally weigh around 500 kilograms, 1,100 pounds. Both males and females have large, curved horns that meet at the base, forming a characteristic boss on top of their heads. Habitat: African buffaloes inhabit a range of ecosystems, including savannas, grasslands, woodlands, and forests. They are found in several countries across sub-Saharan Africa, including Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and others. Behavior: These buffaloes are highly social animals and live in herds consisting of several individuals, ranging from a few dozen to a few hundred members. The herds are usually led by an older female, called a matriarch. African buffaloes have a reputation for being one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. When threatened, they can exhibit aggressive behavior and defend themselves vigorously. They are known to charge and attack predators, including lions, if they feel threatened or their herd members are at risk. Diet: The African buffalo is a herbivore and primarily grazes on grasses. They are bulk grazers and have a preference for fresh, green vegetation. However, they can also browse on leaves, shrubs, and other available plant material during the dry season when grass is scarce. Predators: African buffaloes have several natural predators, including lions, hyenas, leopards, and crocodiles. Lions are their primary predator and often target lone buffaloes or try to isolate individuals from the herd before launching an attack. Buffalo herds have defense mechanisms such as forming a tight circle with the adults facing outward to protect the vulnerable members from predators. Conservation status: African buffaloes are currently classified as a species of least concern on the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN) Red List of Threatened Species. However, certain subspecies and populations may face threats such as habitat loss, hunting for their meat and horns, and diseases such as bovine tuberculosis. Overall, the African buffalo is an iconic and powerful species that plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of ecosystems in sub-Saharan Africa. African buffalo meat demand. The demand for African buffalo meat varies depending on several factors, including regional preferences, cultural practices, and local hunting regulations. Here are a few aspects to consider regarding the demand for African buffalo meat. Local consumption: In some regions of Africa, particularly rural areas, African buffalo meat may be consumed as a source of protein. Local communities that have access to buffalo populations may rely on hunting or game meat markets for their sustenance. However, it's important to note that regulations and conservation efforts are in place to prevent overhunting and ensure sustainable use of wildlife resources. Trophy hunting: African buffalo is a popular trophy animal among big game hunters. Trophy hunting involves legally hunting a limited number of animals, including African buffaloes, under strict regulations and permits. Trophy hunting contributes to revenue generation for some countries, particularly in southern Africa, where it is managed as a sustainable hunting practice. Wildlife tourism: African buffaloes are a significant attraction for wildlife tourism. Tourists from around the world visit national parks and game reserves in Africa to observe and photograph these majestic creatures in their natural habitats. The presence of African buffaloes in protected areas supports the tourism industry and generates revenue, which can contribute to conservation efforts. Cultural and traditional practices. In certain cultural contexts, African buffalo meat holds significance and may be consumed during specific rituals or ceremonies. However, the extent of such practices varies among different communities and regions. It's worth noting that the demand for African buffalo meat should be balanced with conservation efforts to ensure the long-term survival of the species. Regulations and conservation initiatives are in place to manage hunting and protect these animals from unsustainable exploitation. These measures aim to maintain healthy populations and preserve the ecological balance in their habitats.